Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting up with Team 1 in the southwest-ish, ending with Team 2 in the northeast-ish. It's mainly just west versus east. Starting off with Team 1's northern player, then going southward, we have in Chevy Crimson, Team 1's major body odor. Hopefully he doesn't have major body odor, or that would suck. He is a Cybern for this match as a 1200. In Emerald Green to south is Maverick as a Seraphim. He is a 1400. In Tropical Ocean Blue, we have Index Librorum. I'll call him Index for short. He is an Aeon as a 1600. In Imperial Grey to his southeast, we have Tensi. He is an Aeon as well as an 1800. And rounding out Team 1's lineup in the regard slot here for Team 1 is Martyr 1 as a Cybern as a 1900. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Cyberns, 2 Aeon, 1 Seraphim, no UEF for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's southern player, then going northward, we have in Regal Purple, Han Solo. He is a Cybern for this match as a 1400. Will he shoot first? Will he be shot at first? Will he die first? Will he be the sole survivor? Who knows? But we'll just see what happens with him. And, of course, Han always shot first. In the north, we have in Snow White is the Aeon player of Clinch. He is in Snow White as a 1500. In Orange Scarlet Orange to his north is another Aeon for Team 2. It is Babel. He is a 1500. To his north, we have in Light Oak 10 and Dead. Of course, not undead, but it's undead. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1700. He is tied with the next player to be introduced for the highest rated player on his team. And that player he is tied with is Gib. He is a Cybern in Batman Gray as a 1700. In the Brigadier slot here for his team. So for Team 2 side of the map, they also have 2 Cyberns and 2 Aeons and 1 Seraphim. So it is the exact same makeup for each team, which means for the entirety of the match, there are no UEF players. Sad. Apologies to those loyal to the old Earth Empire. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And for these 10 players on the map, let's take a look how much reclaim they have to scoop up. Currently sitting at 13,000 mass in reclaim, which means it is 1.3k mass per player. This map, of course, does have a decent amount of mexes to scoop up. We'll call the lower section of the map here Team 2's and the upper section Team 1's, and of course vice versa for the southern section of the map. Taking a look at Team 2 side of the map, there's a Trimex position in front of Babel. Trimex position on the northern edge for Gib to grab, as well as a Trimex position in the southeastern corner for Hansel, as well as another one and another one up on that upper ridges. And in the middle of the map where we see one for Clinch and a couple of one-offs dotted in that kind of, again, lower section on the way to the upper plateau section on the southern and the northern edge. So there's really not a lot of mexes in the direct middle of the map, but there are a lot of mexes kind of in the pseudo-middle-ish, kind of not necessarily no man's land, but where no man's land would be if those mexes weren't there. Taking a look at where players are headed off to Team 2's northern players of Undead and Gib facing off against Team 1's major body odor in the north, so it's a 2v1 in favor of Team 2. In the middle, it is 2v2 with Babel and Clinch for Team 2 versus Maverick and Index for Team 1. And last but not least, in the south, it looks like Team 1's southern player of Tensi hasn't left his main base as of yet, making this a 1v1 of Martyr and Han Solo. So again, the only advantage for Team 2 or any team in this matter in terms of comm v comm action is in the north, with actually a couple of T1, those Mantis, though those are Thams, outbound from Anded, getting past the comm of Major, going into a little bit of a manufacturing position here. But, I mean, it's going to be kind of cordoned off quite easily. It's not going to do a lot of damage. Maybe one mech will die, maybe, but I highly doubt it. We do see gun upgrades and some T2 upgrades starting here for Team 1 and Team 2. Guns for Team 1, T2 for Team 2. With Babel pushing in. So if he can try to push in, maybe he can cancel that upgrade. A little bit too early to tell. It's already almost at halfway, so I highly doubt even if he did push in, he would actually be able to cancel that upgrade, or at least force the cancellation. in the north. Gun upgrade has been started for Undead, and with, of course, Gib assisting him, he is heavily pushing on that northern side, forcing Major to fall back. Looks like Team 2 wants to grab the northern section of the map and make this a north v south versus a east v west kind of scenario. Gun upgrade almost done. Range is done on Index, going for speed. And we have the first come action between Major and Gib. Looks like Gib is going to try to push Major into the water, at least in that direction, and again force him to not be able to engage his gun against his teammates' units. We do see gun is done here for the Emerald Green player of Maverick, and Babel has no gun upgrades. Also, of course, is lacking a little bit in hit points, but is getting some T1AA turrets online to help assist with the interceptors and bombers from Team 1, but isn't really going to help in a ground invasion scenario. We do see a little bit of the forces from Index actually shifting southward, going to a little bit more of the vulnerable soft targets from Han Solo, pulling a lot of the attention away from Clinch's main base. He does have T2 on board and getting some PD and TMD to protect himself and his frontline mexes, and actually coincidentally his backline as well. Team 1's Maverick is pushing in, forcing Babel to retreat. In the north, it's still between Gib and Major. Neither calm, relenting. Both of them are Cybern, so no hit point advantage there. Once Undead is done with his gun upgrade, Team 2 will win the northern section of the map handedly, just because it's no gun upgrades for each of these two players and then a gun, so it's really like a 3v1 in terms of the fire rate and whatnot. So yeah, not great here for Team 1's northern player. In the southwest, no T2 air as of yet. Looks like that's going, actually Tensi is going to be the air player, not the player with which I thought it was going to be, which would be Marta 1. And in the northeast, it is the player with which I thought it is going for T3, and that is Gib. We do see a nice little Team 1 Jester outbound just to annoy Gib. Nothing too crazy. Nice little couple of Team 1 AA units could easily come in and deal with that little bit of a clown there. Gun range has been started for Babel, going for, I would assume, speed right after that. Yep, trying to push back Maverick. So he has the range, not the fire rate. We do see Clinch sending a lot of his forces southward, but it looks like Index is going to face off against that commander of Clinch, putting Team 1 in favor of that fight just due to the speed and range on board. Han Solo going for his speed and range upgrade. Engineers will take a hit and lose a lot of them, but the upgrade will finish off, maybe like 1 or 2 seconds shorter than it could have been, but again, in the grand scheme of things, it's done, so no worries there. We do see, again, Team 2, it's slowly falling back, and I think the idea is to force Team 2 into this section of the map. But, of course, it does offer a nice little reinforcement point from the south, and also the water to help any sort of hover tech or non-hover tech units in terms of the ones that sink to the bottom of the water to help assist the middle. There is no access point via the northeast, so it makes it a little bit more of a confined environment, which is good and bad depending on if you're advancing or defending. T2 coming online for Maverick, wanting to solidify those gains in the middle by getting some PD, TMD, and the like online. But it does look like Team 1's Index has fallen a little bit back just because he's taken a huge loss in hit points due to the PD from Clinch being a little bit annoying. T2 canceled on Maverick's commander due to Babel moving in to assist. A lot of Auroras here, a couple of Blazes as well, so decently weak units in terms of those Aurora. So those Thams are a little bit better suited for this engagement if they are in range of the Aurora. Of course, the lack in hit points make up for the fact that they have a little bit better range, at least at the T1 tech stage. So it's the Tin 4 Auroras, but they can fire pretty, not far away, but relatively a little bit further away. Gun speed started for Major, and look, Team 2 has grabbed the upper plateau, upper section of the map in the north, and forced Team 1 back. They're slowly pushing in. They have an access point straight down the middle into Maverick's supply lines, or just cut straight into Major Boniota's actual just main base, so you can go either way there. Both would be annoying, but I think going after the main base would be a little bit better there for Undead to go after. T2 restarted for Maverick, and then Babel has dropped into the high yellows, but again, no real concern there. He should be fine. Bomber over top, just annoying, but nothing too crazy. From Team 2, stealth started in the south for Han Solo. He's almost done with that. Again, facing off against Marta 1, who already has stealth on board. But it's a Cybern v Cybern affair. And T2 is online in the radar tech for Marta 1, which means he can see what's going on down here, at least the radar signatures. Once the upgrade is done on Han Solo, he won't be able to see him with radar. But of course, with Omni, he will be able to. And with vision, you can't always trust what you see on the radar. You have to see with your own eyes. And of course, the cloaking does exist. And Dead being a little bit surrounded by Team 1 forces, but again, it's mainly a pushing back. Major Body Odor's upgrade gets actually denied as well. So he'll take a little bit of loss in hit points for the mass and energy and time wasted for Major to go for that upgrade. We see a little bit more gunships inbound, but they're still jesters, so nothing too worrisome for these commanders in the north from Team 2. ASF's online for Team 2. ASF's online for Team 1, so both players have T3 air tech. And gun has been started on Gibbs.com in that little pond to the northwest. But again, look at this. Team 2 just inching their way forward and forward and forward, getting some Ilshis online. Love to see those units. Both of the players in the water now going for gun. Both of them in the green. I may want to keep track of this just because there could be some torpedo bombers from either team to go after one or the both of them. But we'll see if anybody else is really focusing on that or other endeavors. You see some missile spam in the south for Index. He's going for an upgrade on board as well, most likely either the advanced range or the shield. It looks like it is going to be the shield given the fact that it is the central upgrade, the main chassis upgrade. In the kind of northeast of that, we do see Maverick has a little bit of a shield base, but it's going to get denied by a ton of PD and a lot of spam inbound. Babel does have the first of the 2 shield upgrades for the Aeon online as well, so 8,000 additional hit points, bringing him to a total of 12,000 current against the 14,000, almost 15 for Maverick's Com. Both of the upgrades still going on here for those 2 Cyber players in the water, and Nano started for Undead. A lot of those nice little Ilshis online. They are being targeted by the counter Ilshis from Team 1's Maverick. He's actually sent some forces up to assist, but he is being pushed back in the middle, which means he's probably going to have to send those forces back down or just not send any more reinforcements to the north at a minimum. And still missiles and missiles and missiles and more missiles. Looks like the shields have fallen. The Team D still holding a little bit, but nothing too crazy. But there's a lot of that missile spam, so it's just not great. We do see Marta 1 inbound, trying to push Han Solo back and grab the upper plateau. But Han Solo is still holding out. Nobody has died as of yet. This is almost 20 minutes on the clock. So we love to see that, where players stick around for the long haul, just due to the fact that, sometimes stuff happens and you have to go for some reason. I don't count the random departures because of connection or exterior issues, but it's still sad to see at a minimum. Anyway, we do see it's tight between Team 1 and Team 2 in the middle, but in terms of raw power, I think Team 1 has it. There are a couple of Harbs running around, but Index is looking strong, getting some nice little reclaiming going on at the same time, and could easily overcharge and almost kill those Harbinger quite nicely. One of them is down, 2 of them remain, another one is online, another one coming in to assist. Maverick is being pushed back. There is a T3, a couple of gunships online, but those destroyers get wiped out of the sky by those ASFs from Team 2, and Team 2 will win the air fight as well, just on top of that. So they take out gunships and they win the air fight. Nano repair started for Gib. He has stealth on board. Major Body Odor only went for the gun upgrade, and that might bite him in the butt with that Nano upgrade coming online for Gib here shortly. Team 1 and Team 2 in the south face off. It is Marta 1 versus Han Solo. Both of them are Cybern. Both of them have gun. Both of them have stealth. But there's a lot more Rhinos here, and Team 1 might just get the first kill of the game on Han Solo. Ooh, that's got to hurt. With a name like that, he was shot down first, and it is now a 4v5 in favor of the Western team of Team 1, with a heavy shield upgrade started for Babel and nano repair started for Maverick. He also, of course, has T2 on board. In the north, Jesters are inbound, going for Undead's Com. There's actually no real AA nearby, but there are some ASFs, so that should help a little bit. Undead is going to lose a little bit of hit points, but I think Major Body Odor might be a counter kill here for Team 2, dropping into the low reds. And Ilshi's, they stopped firing for a second, but there he goes. So Team 1 gets a nice little comeuppance with the death of Major Body Odor. And it's actually the same player for both teams. So the northern player for Team 1 and the southern player for Team 2, both are the ones that are killed off first, making this really not necessarily a cakewalk, but easier for Team 2 to grab the north and for Team 1 to grab the south, really making this a kind of north v south kind of game. In the middle, things are still holding on. There's a lot of T1 PD spam, most likely just distracting shots from the artillery PD, whatever, from Maverick. There's a lot of them coming online. And a lot of wall sections behind those. You would think that the wall sections would be in front of, not behind, but Team 2's Babel might be thinking of other things. And that is the range, of course, of the Team 1 PD in the middle. So if units move into range, that's nice. They'll be wiped out pretty quickly, but I don't think Maverick is going to send his forces that far forward. And he does have some Team 1 artillery slowly eating away at all the stuff being built. In the north, we do see Undead just rolling over the remaining stuff that Maverick's under control of. We do see some conversation in chat about whatever's going on with the whatever, but as is with most games, I don't really focus on chat. And sometimes I miss out on some funny moments, and sometimes I don't, because it's just how it ends up being. Anyway, Index drops in terms of the hit points to about a little bit under the green, but his shield is down. It's recharging currently. And of course, those flares tractor beaming those missiles from Team 1. I had a conversation with somebody in the comment section, I forget of which video it was, but we were talking about how the missiles are essentially drawn in by the flares, since there's like no heat signatures, and because they're like dummy missiles and all this stuff. But so I think it's just the flare has an inbound, like a built-in tractor beam. It maxes out, I think it's 3 missiles or something. So that's just a conversation that we have about the Aeons. Everything else just shoots them out of the sky, so that is something to be beholden. It would be interesting to see if you could try to just actively direct a missile, but I feel like that would be a little bit too OP. Especially if you had a billion nuke, that would be really, really OP. So that's probably never going to be implemented, but I don't know, maybe Sanctuary will have some sort of like directed weapon system where if you fire it, you can direct it in the air or something. Anyway, we'll see what ends up happening with that. Restore spam is online for Team 1's Tensi, and he is getting that to be very, very annoying for Team 2. The attack gets stalled quite nicely in the main base that once belonged to 2 Major, and Team 1 is pushing in to the old base that once belonged to Han Solo. Team 1 bombers over top going after, I think, engineers and P-Gens. Looks like they're going after the T3 land headquarters. One thing, of course, to remember is Cyberns get a regen buff to everything in terms of the structure. So you get a constant regen, so you have to keep damaging it to make sure it doesn't regen back up to full HP. You do see Shield Heavy started here for Index. And Clinch, of course, doesn't have any sort of defensive upgrades besides a T2 engineering suite, which gives him, again, a chunk of hit points, but not as much as a shield or anything else of that nature. But you see that Maverick has actually left his post on the front lines in the middle and started to go northward, kind of getting more annoyed at what's going on with the nonsense over here from Undead. And Undead, just like the Undead, is just rolling everything over, just eating up all the reclaim and then turning it into whatever else he can throw at his opponents. We do see that his main starting area right here, not really much going on here. He's shifted over to this position, which is interesting because it's not here, which you would expect it to be, which could be nice because if a nuke comes in and it goes after the main base, that's not where the headquarters is. That's not where all the stuff is going. It's over there. So it is a nice thing to do. But in the middle, Clinch is defeated by Mardu 1 by some Corsairs. Nice snipe here from Team 1's air player. Looks like it was just the right amount of units to fly in, kill off the comm, and call it a day. And that is a lot of dead stuff. And then it will allow Team 1's Index to push in and claim, which might actually force Babel back into this position, but he also has Shield Heavy on board. So both of the Aeon players in the middle have essentially the same upgrades. Neither of them have the advanced upgrade, coincidentally enough, but one's at 40,000 hit points total. One is almost at 40,000, just needs one more ranking veteran to catch up, and is just being pushed back a couple of bricks, trying to hold the line with their sort of pseudo brick wall nonsense. But with another player dead on Team 2, it's a 4v3 in favor of the Western team of Team 1. And with that, let's take a look at the game overall. Team 1 has lost Major, Body Odor, and Team 2 has lost Clinch just recently. And Han Solo, he was the one that was shot at first. Well, not actually shot first, but shot and killed first. That probably would be a better way to put it. Team 1, in terms of reclaim, sitting at a little over 900. But another kill, talking about Team 1, Maverick 1 goes down due to the Ilshi and assistance from Gibbs Comm. So it's actually not a 4v3, it's a 3v3. Tied up game once again. And that eco actually shifts considerably, possibly due to a power stalling issue, but possibly just transfer of units and whatnot. Anyways, Team 2 at a little over 900, so it's a little bit in favor of Team 1, but the game is constantly going back and forth. So let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And hopefully you are enjoying the holiday season. I will be taking off a couple of days after Christmas. Videos will still come out. Don't worry about that. But in terms of like my day job, I'm taking a couple days off. So I'm going to have a nice long weekend to relax and hang out with family and whatnot. Hopefully everybody is having a fun time in the snow. If you have snow, if you don't have snow, it's kind of nice not to have snow for some things. But a Corsair bombing run is inbound for Babel's commander. And there's a lot of them inbound. Actually, a lot of the shots are missing. But at least half of the shields are down. Interceptors and other ASFs coming in from Team 2's air player of Gib. And it stops that snipe. There's just a lot of damage. I think total was 20,000. So no shield would be a dead comm. If he had the regular shield at just 8,000 hit points, he would still be alive, but he'd be massively lacking in the hit point department, because that's 17,000 additional hit points that he has on board with the heavy shield upgrade. So he'd be, I think, low yellows if not high reds. So definitely going to sit under shield coverage for the foreseeable future for him. We do see that Index is actually shifting southward. Looks like he's just going to hide in the pond, and he has his teammate of Martyr 1 pushing in to go after the T3 land headquarters. Monkey has been started by Babel over here, but I don't think it's going to last much longer. I wouldn't be surprised to see him build a Colossus in his main base, at least at some point. I don't see any really experimentals coming online for Team 2 as of yet. Advanced Nano Repair coming online for Undead, and he's actually pushed in and taken out the position that once belonged to 2 major. Restorers are just getting bigger and more annoying. Team 2 sends the ASFs in, and I don't think that was the best move. There is some AA nearby to assist, but it's going to be a slaughter fest for both teams considering. And those ASFs, I mean, they do have a decent amount of firepower, of course, on board, but the Restorers, I mean, it's just so many hit points. 6,000 versus 2,200, so almost triple the amount of hit points. It's just a lot to shoot through, especially in a size like that. You just need Flak and T3 mixed in. There is some lightning tanks mixed in, but that's all I can see. There's a little bit of Flak, but not super great. Looks like the ASFs want another turn at it, but don't think that's the best idea. It looks like those were ASFs that did come in are just going to get wiped out, and the AA is going to be targeted by the remaining Restorers, which will make this an air win for Team 1 and a nice little land victory as well, at least land denial, I should say, at a minimum for Team 1 as well. So those Restorers are just really giving Team 2 the business at this point. And now the battle in the middle has shifted. Instead of a kind of west to east, it's kind of now more north v south. Lots of those even songs online for Babel, just throw and missile. What the nonsense is this? Looks like a nucleus or something with all of those electrons just buzzing all around. That is in what the... How much time did he spend making those attack orders? Dang, look at that thing. That thing is nuts. It's almost a thing of beauty at that point, but just how much time did he spend doing that? Anyway. Almost 30 minutes on the clock. Reclaim it on the map. 112,000 mass and climbing. A lot of it residing in the west and in the east by the looks of it. There's a little bit of mass in the corner, but I don't really know what that's about. Weird. So I zoom out and it says 700, and then I zoom in. Weird. There's like missing mass here for some reason, which is very weird. Anyway, it might be off-screen mass, but still. Restorers and land forces are at it again, but there's really not a lot of AA nearby in T2 or T3 variety. There's just so many Optims and Ilshis and T1 Zuri and all of the everything. It's not a good day for Team 2's land armies by any means. And those lightning tanks and other units are just being constantly pushed back. Again, Team 1 is lacking an entire base. Team 2 has not lost this position, so they still have the mass income from this. The Monkey is still stalled, but a T3 land headquarters is being built as we speak to compensate. There's still bricks online, and I think they're being produced by somebody at some point, because maybe those are just remaining bricks, because there isn't a T3 land headquarters to be able to allow construction of bricks. But Team 1 has just kind of pushed in Team 2 not pushing back on this attack, and looks like they're going after this position. Team 1 PD going to be built to try to stall the incursion. There's a lot of Harmagers they can sit at range at those Team 1 PD positions and the supporting factories, and then the T3 land headquarters for the Aeon side of things where Babel is going to go down. He does have a backup one up here, so nothing too worrisome there, but still loses a frontline one at a minimum. A couple of Team 1 bombers. Looks like they're going up to some even songs. GC has been pinged by Team 2's one of their dead players now, Overwatch / Intel players for clinch, saying, hey, there's a GC there, watch out. Team 1 bombers going after the artillery, it looks like, but the shields are not going to allow that to happen. It looks like the restorers are going elsewhere. I don't know where they're going. Team 3 land headquarters is down. T2 PD being built. Harbinger is now going to be shifted northward, it looks like, for Index, and he's of course assisting the push in the south as well with a lot of Team 1 fervor spam, and more bricks inbound from Martyr 1 from the actually north that shifted northward to evade the bricks from Team 2. Are going after the T3 land headquarters now, and I don't think that's going to last much longer at this point. There's just too many bricks and too much artillery spam for Team 1, so it's really not going to go anywhere. More bricks inbound to the south from Babel, but again, like I said, that's not going to stop this push by any means. In the west, again, another push is inbound, but a Colossus is going to stop that quite handily. Reclaim, and more reclaim for Undead. Undead sitting at 54,000 reclaim, Tensi at 44, so a lot of reclaim going to those two players' coffers. And we do see the Colossus is just standing there. He's going to start receiving a lot of damage from the missiles. Ooh, look at the chunks. Look at the chunks of hit points just being evaporated. I think that was at 10% plus is now gone. That's a lot of hit points just gone. And that Colossus is not happy. There's a lot of Obsidians here, a couple of Oblivion PDs, and they are being the ones targeted, of course. Colossus just got to keep moving. It's losing now 20% of those hit points. There's a lot of things to chew through. Looks like the land headquarters are also a target. Harbinger's coming in. Colossus inbound from the east, and that's going to really kill this thing off. Already half of its hit points are gone. There's so many missiles raining in. There is really no hope. Take out the Omni. That'd be a great grab here for Team 1, but I don't think this Colossus is going to make it for dinner. I think he's going to be stuck out in the middle of the wilderness and die from its lack of vision. And the Omni is still online. I want to point that out right there. Index comments about that. Yeah, not super great. And those missiles are just going to be the death of that thing handily. Team 1 has now claimed the southern edge of the map. Team 2 has claimed the northern edge of the map. So it is a north v south game at this point. And even the middle is shifting from an east-west to a more north v south approach. Team 1, anything spicy, MassFab farm, and more separation of air grid here for Team 1's air player. Decent group of hives here, just spamming out bricks. Another Colossus almost done here for Index, and lots of spam to the north with possible chicken? No chicken? No chicken for Team 1. In the east, they have, of course, lost this base that once belonged to Han Solo. They've kind of lost a chunk of this base that belonged to Clinch, and Babel is retreating to his now main base. In the north, air grid, of course, still being spammed up, and SACU Rascoms are the menu item, producing some monkeys and chickens coming online here for Undead. And he's actually poised to put 2 artillery pieces right here if he so chose to do so. So that might be something to watch out for. A shield coming online as well to protect that second ring of mass fabs surrounding some T3 mexes. But Team 1 is pushing back on the northern side. There's a lot of T3 units up here, and there's a chicken inbound for Undead. So it's going to be definitely Team 2 sided for sure in that regard. Colossus is retreating, it looks like, so that's probably actually a better choice in that regard. But Brick's coming after Babel's commander. Babel still has his shield, but it's dropping quite quickly due to all the brick firepower. It's going to be fine, but it's not going to be that great. Artillery not really tall enough to block the shots. There's still a couple of bricks remaining and absolvers online. Not great for dealing actual hit point damages, but dealing with shields. 1,500, 1,300. The bricks could go after the comm. Corsairs are just going to end it anyways. Oof. Team 1's Martyr 1 gets another kill with those Corsairs. It is now a 3v2 in favor, once again, of Team 1 in the south. Colossus and Chicken have a nice little hug session. Colossus does make it out of there, but Yeah, the Iron Storm's going to activate. Yeah, it's not going to really go anywhere. There it goes. At this point, I mean, I get it. He's just going to try to stomp as many of those T3 units as possible, but probably should have just retreated at least a little bit to get that reclaim a little bit closer to home. Team 1 has now claimed the entire southern edge of the map, actually southern half of the map at this point. There is a now dead monkey. It looks like that was from Martyr 1. Colossus online for and dead now, once belonging to Babel. A couple of T3 units, those bricks breaking in. A couple of Serenities are going to go down. Team 1 Harbinger is still alive. Bricks, 5-star vetted. Are they both 5-star? They are both 5-star vetted. Wow, 20,000+ mash kill between the two of those things. They have done a lot of work for Martyr 1. Granted, there used to be a lot more of them, but those are the survivors of the everything else that happened. Tickle cannons inbound from Gib to help assist the slowdown of Team 1's aggression, but that's a lot of fervors. And granted, tickle cannons are great at dealing with Team 1 units, but there's a lot of them, and that's a lot of specifically structure destroying artillery. So yeah, I mean the tickle cannons will probably win the fight, but it's going to be a lot of dead PD there. And the T3 land headquarters for the Aeon side of things starting to be denied by these two bricks. They're still alive, still kicking. There might be one Harbinger deployed before its destruction. It's going down pretty quick. It's in the green, but that's in the red. And yeah, that thing is DED, monkey inbound, chicken inbound, but it doesn't matter. The T3 land headquarters for the Aeon side of things for Undead is knocked out. That's a great grab. Just a couple of bricks that survived probably way too long in Team 2's perspective, but still are alive. Team 1 pushing in the middle. The line of Team 1 PD being denied by all of those Harbingers in the middle. We do see that attack is commencing once again on the northern section. T1 spam facilities, both for, let's see, that's 10C and for Index, trying to keep Team 2's forces at bay. One chicken, lots of T3 land units. Where did those restorers go? Oh, they're still right there, but looks like Team 2 has pumped out a lot of ASFs in the meantime. And it looks like monkeys are still on the menu for Team 2. More chickens, and more chickens for Team 2 as well. It's just Undead and Gib versus Team 1's remaining 3 players of 10C, Martyr 1, and Index. Grab has started. More pigeons, more mass fabs, more everything for Team 1. Got to get that eco racing. Looks like, again, separated air grids. And I do love this configuration, partly because it keeps the pigeons on the edges, not in the middle. Granted, you could put actually a T3 shield in the middle regardless, but to get more adjacency bonus if the pigeons were in the middle. But I do like it that they're on the edges and not in the middle. They're essentially as far away from the other pigeons as possible, so cascades don't really happen in terms of, you know, stuff blowing up. So I do like it. Nuke online. Ooh, and it's going to launch immediately. It's going to try to go for the base here for Team 2's Undead and loses T3 Seraphim land headquarters. But that land force is inbound. Lots of T3 units as Colossus still standing guard. Bunch of T2 PD spam here sitting next to pigeons. Definitely not a good place to put those things on the front line as it is. But that Colossus is retreating, getting a nice engagement with a chicken that can't shoot behind its back. It just can only get, you know, probably a 270-degree cone, I think. It can't get a full 360. It's like the, I forget his name from Naruto. Is it Neji? The one that had the, like, the tiny, like, point that he couldn't cover. I think it was it Neji? It's been so long since I actually watched the show. I think it was Neji. Anyway, somebody in the comments will probably let me know at some point. But that ASF ward is getting really dangerous for Team 1. 150 versus 10C's 98 plus 25 gunships, but of course 10 of them are bingo on fuel. 2 Colossi and a monkey walking through a bar with 1 chicken, and that chicken is going to be DED on the spot. Targets go down on the monkey, but the monkey's going to just say, nope, see ya, bye. And that Colossus is just going to take most of the firepower. Colossus is going to try to get out of range of that Ion Storm, and those T3 units are backing up. They're going back north, go home, take a nice little nap, because that is not good. Nuke is about to fire. There it is.
Strategic launch detected.
And there goes the first nuke of the game. 4GC says Index. 4GC? What? 4 GCs. You're talking about you have 4 GCs or you need 4 GCs or whatever else, but there's 2 chickens here. 4 and dead. Here it comes. That nuke is going to land, kill off a couple of pigeons and the headquarters. SMD is online and loaded, but that's not going to help over there. ASFs will see it. Definitely want to get out of the way of that thing. And Team 1, of course, is still holding over here, pushing back that line even further with all that Colossi spam. Here comes the nuke. It's going to land. It's going to be glorious. We love to see it. Boom. Probably killed off 40,000 mass, I think, with that nuke. Oh, only 32. Okay, but still, the headquarters is down. A couple of T3 pigeons are down. Like, important stuff was taken out with that nuke. So, it's a nice little grab. I do love the Omnis everywhere for Team 2, except I think that's the only one left. They had one in the middle, but that one's gone, of course. There isn't one back here. There probably should be one back here. But bugs. Bugs are being built by Team 2's Gib. Don't really like the bug. But, of course, it is a weapon of choice for the Cyber and the Air Forces. 2 Colossi. Sorry, 2 Colossi. Not Colossi. 2 experimentals for Undead. 1 Colossi, 1 chicken, and 2 monkeys. That monkey's going to lose that fight. That monkey might survive. But that brick force is inbound. A couple of bricks will die, but the monkey will not survive for much longer. There's still that other wreck right here that neither team has scooped up as of yet. But the crash damage probably will kill a couple of bricks. I don't remember how much damage it does, but it's going to kill, looks like one of them, but a lot of them did take some damage. But Team 1's player of Index is very far forward. He's actually on the opposite side of the map of where his main base is. That's a lot of stuff running around. Looks like that's going to be his new home away from home at this point. And it is now a true north v south game. It went from a essentially east versus west, and it has shifted 90 degrees to the counterclockwise. Yeah, counterclockwise. I had to actually do the motion with my hand to make sure I had the right orientation down. And Team 1 still holding over here. Large Optim force with a lot of AA and Team 1 spam and shields and the whatnot. Would love to see more Ilshis in there, just a little bit, but besides that, everything looked good over there in the east. Of course, those 3 experimentals, sorry, 4, 5, 6 experimentals shoving their way forward. Team 2, I mean, there's 2 Colossi, but there's going to be a 3rd one here shortly. T3 brick spam. Index is like, don't see y'all buy. Don't blame them that. I think somebody said retreat. Reclaim. Next new target. Copy. Or this. I don't know if that's worth it. Team 1 is winning that game. They've actually pushed back that army quite considerably. Looks like they had a rough go of it, Team 2 did. I feel like the next target, I mean, the air grid would be a nice choice, but it's underneath decent S&D protection. You could take out this. I mean, you could take out that land facility over there once again, knocking out the T3 land headquarters for Team 2's Undead, but this group of experiments is probably a little bit more worrisome. 2 Colossi. Maybe we'll defeat that one from Team 2, but there's still 2 monkeys and a chicken to be worried about. Team 1 spam inbound. Team 1 Team 1 engineer spam trying to build some more mexes over there. Bricks coming in. Shield trying to be built to protect the Colossi investment. It does build in time, but it doesn't last much longer. Colossus does get a trade there, and a chicken's going to boop that Colossus and make sure that it dies one way or the other. Bricks actually coming in from behind, but there's 2 chickens coming to intercept that group of forces. It's just the wild, wild west over here. Everything's crashing on top of one another. Team 1 artillery remaining in. That chicken actually might die here, and that monkey just receiving a lot of AoE artillery from that fervor spam. Bricks inbound to assist. That chicken is going to go down, and the bricks are inbound. Chickens are chasing them. Team 1 spam over here taking out Optims. Man, you're seeing a lot of things, a lot of interesting things happen in this game. Airfight over the top. Good engagement for Team 1. It turns just a little bit bad for Team 2, but there's a lot of Redeemers over there. They need to get further into that air engagement. It looks like Team 2 is... there's a lot of Restorers still online. Looks like the ASF for Team 1 are pretty much gone. Now it's just chewing through the Restorer HP. And it looks like that's pretty much what saves some air power for Team 1. It's not looking super great for either group of air forces. Bug over here to the west helps to take out a couple of experimentals on land for Team 1. ASFs are just going to charge that. Looks like that's what Team 1 was saving a little bit of their ASFs for. But here come the Restorers. They're a little bit slow to engage, of course, because they just fly slower. And that Soul Ripper is not gonna die, and looks like the ASFs are just gonna go after the destroyers anyways. All those redeemers over here not really that worth it because they're not over there. It looks like the rest of those ASFs are gone, and the destroyers as well, which means Team 2 has air control. I wouldn't say dominance, but it's probably pretty close at this point. In the east, looks like most of those experimentals have been dealt with. Corsairs coming over the top for Team 1's Martyr 1, tried and true method using those things. That monkey is down. There's a lot of reclaim over here, both in the T4, T2, T1, and T3 department. Wow, that is a lot of red numbers over there. 350,000 mass. Of course, where you exactly would expect it to be over there, a little bit in the middle, and a lot over there. And those Corsairs are going to go down, but Team 1 will retain control of the area, at least for now. And that land force is pushing back in on Team 1's western front. There is a lot of Team 1 AA. Don't really think that's really going to help against a Soul Ripper, but hey, a little bit of damage is better than no damage. And those Redeemers have finally now come into range of that experimental. That Soul Ripper is actually not really going to survive much longer. Wow, that's a lot of damage that thing did to that thing. Oof. Rough. Team 1 will get a little bit of reclaim from that as well. Wow, look at the mass fabs down here. Another nuke outbound from Team 1's nuke launcher here from Index going after this base here to the east. Colossi spam is online, but not going to be online for much longer. That's going to be another base Team 2 will lose access to, at least for the time being. Nuke has killed off 32,000 mass, probably looking at another 30, if not 40 killed with that nuke launch. And it looks like expansion in the middle of the map for Give to just get more and more reclaim into his and mass into his coffers. Team 1 is still leading the mass game, but not terribly much. Martyr 1 at 1.2k and Dead at 1.1k. Nuke is about to land. Colossus is about to actually be built. Kaboom! All of the engineers are gone. The PD is fine. The Colossus was just about to stand up. I'd say about 15 or so seconds. That thing would have been fine. A lot of Yathothas, says Tensi, and there's Chu right there. There's another one up there. And is there one in this army over here? No. So I'd say a lot. There's definitely a decent amount. Artillery spotted by Team 2. Yep, here it is. Offshoot of one of those air grid configurations. But how many do you need of those Team 2 mass fabs? 5. Is that can't be? Is that all of them? That is all of them. 507 T2 mass fabs, each of them worth 1 mass income. So 500 just with those. Lots of income for him. Looks like he actually might be having a yeah, not really doing good on the power situation. Definitely needs to fix that. And that nuke has killed off 69,000 mass. Nice. So another 37 mass killed, 1,000 mass here for Team 1. Big issue, says Index. I wouldn't say a big issue, but it's not really going to be a helpful issue by any means. Team 1 is still holding the ground in the west. Team 2 looks like they're going to use some bugs to claim the eastern side. Of course, reclaiming efforts are coming online. There are some nice little eggs being produced to get some engineers on the field for Martyr 1, but I do sense a danger for Team 1 in the sense that there are 2 bugs still online. Actually, probably newly online, I should say. Artillery should have maximum range on this map, or should be able to hit. Oh yeah, it hits everything but the tiny corner. Imagine trying to build something in this corner of the map. Just absolutely a nightmare down there. Not a lot of space. Probably could build a nuke launcher, but that's probably about it. And 1 Colossus, 2 Colossus, 3 Colossus, 4. Chicken is down. Second chicken going to walk into the water. Ion Storm going to just rip apart that Colossus. That one's walking into range of it. That one's going to die. Lots of free damage on that Colossus. Ooh, probably not the best idea in that regard. Chicken actually might even just turn around and fire at that one. Ooh, that Colossus does go down, but there's 3 more online over here. Team 2 is gearing up for another attack. Chicken is inbound. Same with this one. That Colossus is chasing that chicken. And the Ion, not Ion, but the Eye really wants to shoot at it. You can see it's just barely. There it is. It activates. Chicken needs to turn around and fire at this Colossus. It's actually being pinged. And I think it will die. Ooh, it's going to be close. It does die. We do see more and more and more lasers from Team 1. The chicken from Team 2 decides to just turn around and go, nope, see ya, bye. And those bugs over here to the east have now cleansed the eastern edge of the map of Team 1's presence, and now mass Extractors are now the nice, juicy target for those bugs to scoop up. Another air grid with a lot of... Actually, that's a different formation. Looks like those were mass storages? I don't even know what those are. It looks like a different template overlaid on another template or something. Bugs are inbound, and it's going to be Feeding Frenzy. ASFs are inbound both from Martyr 1 and from Tensi. Tensi, again, they're going to try to target those. No, they're actually going to go for the ASFs, not the bugs. Mass fabs are going to go down. If the bugs can get back here, that's a devastating amount of mass that Martyr 1's going to lose. Looks like the ASFs do just target one of the bugs. One of them is down. Team 2 still retains air control. And that second bug is still alive. Oh, it's not a good day. Not a good day for Team 1's Martyr 1. He needs more AA. He needs more and more AA. Oh, what is it going to go after? The mass fabs are just waiting to be exploded. T3 artillery being built by Martyr 1 as well. And there's still ASFs actually hanging around the bug from Team 1's Tensi, and the bug going after the big mass fab farm doesn't kill it off. I feel like there was a little bit of lack of potential for all of these to go up in flames. Team 1 still holding the ground and pushing in once again. There's a lot of dead everything. Chicken down, chicken down. 2 Colossi going to go down almost simultaneously there in the east. Nothing really going on. Artillery still raining in on the artillery position that's being constructed here for Team 2. And a second chicken, not second chicken, but just chickens and more chickens for Team 2. And those Colossi still online. It's just a graveyard over there. Repeat GC says index. Yep, that's definitely a good idea. With 1, 2, 3 ion storms running around. That is not the button I wanted to press. That's the button I wanted to press. There we go. Now we're sitting at 400,000 mass in Reclaim. There's a nice little 16,000 literally in Team 1's backyard, hanging out on top of some very important structures. Artillery piece done for Martyr 1. An explosion happened somewhere. Was that an SACU? I would have presumed so, given stuff is blowing up over here. I don't see it, though, so that's kind of surprising. There's a monkey running around here for Team 2's Gib. But the artillery is now online for Team 2, so both of the teams have T3 artillery in one way or another. But with 2 artillery for Team 1, maybe a third. Yep, a third one is coming online here shortly. More air grid. Another nuke is outbound still from Team 1. And this one is going northward to the T3 land spam facilities here. And that's really going to cut down on the reinforcements for Team 2's and dead. 49 minutes on the clock here, and it is not looking good for the land spam. GG says and dead. It's possible. But it's just not going well for Team 2. They were doing a pretty good job in the middle, but kaboom! There goes that up there. The Colossi spam was real. And there is some monkey spam down here, but it's a lot of territory between where they're at and where more vital structures are. Crab and a crab go off against a monkey, and the monkey is no more. They just got all the... Yeah, that's definitely a huge portion of it. Team 1, 500,000 mass in Reclaim. Team 2, 300. So we're nearing 900,000 mass reclaimed in this game, and that is a huge reason why Team 1 is leading the total mass recruit. Now, it's about 600,000. 200,000 of that is, about 250, I should say, is about the reclaim. So still, the mass income advantage has been in Team 1's favor for a while, but the reclaim definitely made it a lot more apparent. Do not tell me we have Team 1 engineers. Okay, good. I was like, do not tell me we have Team 1 engineers reclaiming an experimental from Team 2. Please do not tell me they're doing that. Oh, please tell me you are going to start doing that. No, you're just going to ignore that? Okay. The engineers finally got shot at. But there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Colossi. They're holding the wreckage and scooping it up as we speak, and that number is just going to expedite even quicker. It's going to be about 300,000 at this point. Martyr 1 finishes another experimental. Now he's going for bugs because why not? Another explosion's happening. Looks like the... Ooh, do not put all of your SACUs in one basket because cascading is a thing. Ooh, there goes that section of air grid and a little bit of shields as well. Artillery not started here, or started here. Don't understand that logic because it's better positioned right here, or even here because the shield is better here. I don't get it. Nah, I don't get it. Monkeys are inbound, and Index actually being shot at by a couple of the torpedoes from those said monkeys. And those monkeys have a nice actual just alleyway, not alleyway, but just thoroughfare to get to that artillery piece for Tensi. Artillery landing in needs a lot more shielding, though. Engineers spamming up those Colossi immediately because those monkeys are going to come into range. And it is not a good day unless a nuke comes in and wipes them off the face of the map. Nope, 102,000 mass killed with that nuke launcher alone. More pigeons, more pigeons, more pigeons, and more pigeons. And those monkeys have now landed. And not Gray Hair Index fleeing, making sure he gets out of dodge. Not great for Team 1 at all. They're going to lose at least one of the artillery pieces, and the second one that was under construction from Team 1's Tensi. Oh, not great. Tickle cannons are online and being spammed up as we speak. Pigeons are going down. Artillery piece not looking good. Tensi goes, that's not great. No, it is not. But, of course, the high ground definitely coming into a nice little fruition here for Team 1. There goes that artillery piece. Bug is inbound. One of the monkeys has dropped into the yellow. The other two still in the green. They have a lot of wiggle room with that HP pool that they still have, or at least clumped together. Team 2 has a second artillery piece online. The game has shifted in who's winning the artillery wars at this point. Those three monkeys may have won at least brought Team 2 back in the game. Pigeons are being wiped out just one after the other for Tensi. Not doing well here for Team 1 in that regard. And it looks like, again, the reclaim still favoring Team 1, 400,000 more. But one of the monkeys has finally been defeated. Two more remain. One has fallen into the yellow. That bug getting a little bit of efficiency. Second bug coming online as well. It's just not going well. Pigeons, it's not a good day to be a pigeon here for Tensi. And now we're getting into Mardo 1's facilities. His pigeons are going down. And they're going to go straight for... I mean, the SMD would be a good target. The artillery would probably be the other target. I don't think the monkeys will get there. But hey, look at all these mass fabs up here that would easily just go up in flames if the monkeys would target them, which they're not doing. But okay. Taking out pigeons. That monkey is down. One more is alive, trying to keep that artillery. There goes the mass fab grouping there. Due to some little AoE from some friendlier skies and ground targets and defenses and whatnot. Monkey trying to get to the emitters and the whatnot for that artillery, but just can't make it. But look at the huge hole in Team 1's the everything. Team 2 and Team 1 have a nice little air fight. Team 1 will win the air fight, though. So while the ASF count is severely not going to be replenished anytime soon by Tensi, Team 1 does win it, so that is a nice little consolation prize for that. It does look like Team 2 cannot hit the artillery piece from Team 1, which means Team 1 can't even target Team 2's. Why did that go the wrong way? It looks like possible recall from Team 2. Recall vote has passed, which means Marta 1 won the game. Surprisingly enough, looks like the air fight was just enough for Team 2 to be like, nope, we're good, see ya, bye. I mean, I don't really know if it actually was beneficial for Team 2 to actually leave that match. Granted, the eastern side was not looking good. 3 crabs over here. They still got a long walk northward. Chickens were being produced. That one was actually almost done. And there was 2 artillery pieces. A third one almost done, to be fair. So while Team 2 was really lacking in the air department, they probably could have been fine, honestly. It would have been a while before Tensi really got back up and running. And we even see artillery landing on this base over here to the west for Index. So really that nuke could have been taken offline. Team 2 does have adequate SMD defense as well, so that would have been denied anyways. But I just don't know if it was Team 2's game to lead. I mean, the trend line does exist. There are experimentals running around for Team 1 over here. There's 2 right here. Another one right there. There's actually a bug sitting here. There's a crab here. But so there's are experimentals for both teams, but I do think if this group of crabs got anywhere near the air grid, that would have been game over, because once that's down, that would have been game, even with the artillery here from Undead. So yeah, there is a multiverse possibility that Team 2 would have won this game at this point in the match, but I just think percentage-wise, I think it's maybe like a 70-30. So, because this base is not even targetable by the artillery from Team 2, so they could really build something. I mean, with all the reclaim here, game ender, easy. So, it's just one of those things where it's kind of a hard thing to tell one way or the other, but I think long-term, Team 1 would have won the fight, again, 7 out of 10 times. But anyway, let me know down in the comments what you thought about the departure game overall, whatever the case may be. Thank you so very much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And MVP for me, I got to give it to Martyr 1 with all of those Corsair snipes, all of the reclaim, all of the everything with his mass fabs going on. Did a very good job in that regard. Got the entire southern edge under his control, so really did a great job overall. So that's my pick for MVP, and I will see all of you in the next one.